Hey guys, Troubletcat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade. You're watching Meet the Weapon. Today we're looking at the Scar, and this is a really short game on Sand Crossing. The attackers couldn't quite get past B cap at the start, as is fairly often the case on Sand. A very hard point to attack, and the most important one to defend when you're on the defenders on this map. But anyway, to talk about the Scar in real life, I thankfully, since this video is short, don't have an enormous amount to say, since I, for the most part, covered the Scar weapon system in my Scar H video a while ago for the engineer kit. Check that out if you want to know a bit more about this gun. Most of what I'm going to say here is I want to clear up some misconceptions about the Scar H, the Scar L, the Scar in general, I suppose, in this video, because I've noticed a lot of people saying on the forums that I think it's weird that the Assault kit has the Scar L and the engineer kit has the Scar H, and there's this, seems to be this kind of misconception that the Scar H is an assault rifle and the Scar L is a carbine, or that I don't know, there seems to be some kind of misconception about how exactly this works. So, the deal with the Scar is that whether the Scar H is for heavy and the Scar L is for light. So, the heavy Scar H fires a 7.62 round and the light Scar H fires a 5.56 round. And that's pretty much the only difference. So aside from that, they're both rifle receivers, and then it's a modular weapon system. So you can outfit each of those weapons, either the Scar L or the Scar H, in a number of different ways. You can set them up as full-length rifles or short-barreled rifles / carbine, and stuff like that. So you might still argue that it would have made more sense to make the Assault kit have a one. So I mean, what we assume then is that the Scar H on the Engineer kit is set up as a short-barreled rifle or carbine, and the Scar L on the Assault kit is supposed to be configured as a full-length rifle. You might still think that it would make more sense to give Assault the Scar H with the heavier round and give them, you know, the full rifle version of the Scar H, and then the Engineer could have a Scar L set up as a Scar L CQB kind of configuration. I would argue that it's kind of better this way because the Assault kit already has a high damage, low rate of fire gun in the G3A3, and without the Scar H, the Engineer kit does not have that. So I mean, in this way, there's just more diversity in the weapons by class. So I think it makes a lot of sense doing it that way. That's about all that I wanted to say about you know, the real gun. Is just to point out that because that's the main difference, is essentially between this and the Scar H is this one is, we assume, fitted out with a longer barrel as a full-length assault rifle, and it's firing 5.56 instead of 7.62. So this has the same damage, 25 damage, as the other assault rifles. Now transitioning smoothly into talking about it in the game. So smooth. This has the same damage as the other assault rifles, and it does have a lower rate of fire, comparable to the Scar H. It fires 620 rounds a minute in the game, and you might think that sounds kind of bad. I mean, it's like an M16 with a much lower rate of fire. Why the fuck would you want that? But I actually feel that this is, like the AUG, one of the better guns on the Assault kit in the game. Although for a different reason. The AUG is extremely versatile. It's a lot like the M16. There's some slight differences, but like the M16A3, it's very versatile. The Scar L is much more specialized, but no less effective. In the game, basically the deal with the Scar L is that it has a low rate of fire, yes, and average damage, but it is ridiculously accurate in full auto fire, has very low recoil, and just very good accuracy, even at long range. So, compared to the M16 even, this gun is very easy to go full auto on people at medium range. With the M16, at ranges that you're going to want a single shot or fire a very short burst with the M16, you can pretty much go full auto with the Scar L, and you're going to stay accurate, and it's going to have low enough recoil to keep the weapon on target, which makes the Scar L a fantastic medium-range killer. Yes, it has lower damage per second than most of the assault rifles because of that lower rate of fire at close range. However, when you take into account distance and the fact that with most weapons you have to burst and you get inaccurate and you miss a lot and stuff like that, whereas the Scar L will just put shot after shot on target, at medium and long ranges, this gun will definitely compete in terms of how quickly you can bring people down. And that makes it a really good gun in my opinion. We'll see. You know, it's not the best map in the world to show it. It does have some long range shooting later on, but you'll see instances in here where I'm firing at medium range and I just hold down the trigger until they're dead. Whereas with an M16, you'd want to fire, you know, a couple of discrete bursts or I mean, here I couldn't quite see what I was shooting at. I will say my biggest problem with the gun in the game is I fucking hate the iron sights. It's not too bad if people are stationary, but if somebody's moving around, you have a really hard time tracking them. And when you're aiming at somebody, you have very little peripheral vision awareness of, you know, what's going on around them in particular. I do not care for the iron sights on this, but that's not a big deal. You know, you unlock the ACOG real quick out, and then you got the ACOG. I know some people don't like the ACOG, but I do. So you can always use that pretty quickly, and then you unlock CQB sights not long after that. So fuck it, it's all fine. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are down talking this gun, saying it's shit, saying, you know, it's just like an M16, but it fires slower, so it's like an M16 but worse, right? But it fails to take into account that this gun actually has even less recoil than the M16, and I think it might have the exact same accuracy stats, but the lower rate of fire means that your you know, accuracy loss is going to be less. You have more time to recover accuracy. It ends up being more accurate, but specifically because of that lower rate of fire. Although I believe a lot of the numbers relating to accuracy are the same, and it certainly feels a hell of a lot more accurate to me. I think you'll see just in a second here a couple guys at medium range that I can barely even fucking see actually, and then they're dead. They're not even alive at all anymore. So, pretty good gun in my opinion. I'm going to show you, I think probably only one loadout on this. I mean, you can set this up for close range. It's not terrible at close range. It's just very average. You will lose to M16s and FAMASs and F2000s and AEKs and a bunch of the carbines. You will lose to a lot of stuff at close range with this gun, but it's not terrible. You know, you're certainly going to be better off with this than some weapons in close range. Anyway, I'll probably only show you one other loadout for this gun, and that'll be up soon, and then I've got some other videos coming up for you guys. So anyway, as always, let me know what you thought of the video, and until next time, Troubletcat, looking at my stats again.